Well, this is a very obviously important day. So, very thankful that the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, is joining us today on Bell Let's Talk Day. Prime Minister, first and foremost, why is a day like this to continue these kinds of conversations just so important?
Well, obviously, everyone's had a tough couple of years, but I mean, over the past decade or so, we've seen an increasing level of engagement, of conversation, of attacking mental health issues across society in a really, really positive way. And these past 2 years of the pandemic have been particularly grueling for all Canadians. And being able to really engage and talk about the resources that are out there, talk about how important it is to reach out and get help, how important it is to put up your hand and say, I'm not okay, and it's okay to not be okay. These are conversations that we need to be having as a society, but also as families and as individuals.
Absolutely. And I think around sport, a lot of people always say, it's a place to escape. But I think what's been incredible over the last couple of years is conversations around mental health have come to the forefront. So I first want to start off with you personally. How did this journey and your love of sport form?
Oh, from my youngest age, getting out into the woods with my family, hiking, canoeing, cross country skiing, whatever it was that got us outside was really important to my dad to keep sort of the balance with work and life and family, and we picked up on that as kids. So that's certainly what I'm trying to focus on with my own kids is as we get outside, we play, we do all sorts of different activities as much as possible during this pandemic, and that sort of active lifestyle is hugely important, not just for your physical health, but for perspective, for balance, and for mental health.
And obviously, you are incredibly invested in those Montreal Canadiens, Mr. Prime Minister. But of course, I've seen photos of you because you were once a snowboard instructor, obviously running while you try to exercise. How has sport helped your mental health, and especially over this time?
Through this pandemic, there's been so many lockdowns and so many difficult moments. At one point, I was running laps in the driveway. Over this winter, I've been going for long cross country ski outings in Gatineau Park here in Ottawa, where I can manage to get the kids to come with me if I'm only doing 10K, but I have to do my 25Ks alone. I've been really, really lucky to be able to have access to getting outside for my own mental health. But so many people are faced with huge challenges that being there to support them, whether it's as a government with investments or with tools to support them, to help people get that help they need to find that balance we need during times of stress is super important.
I mean, one of the important things that you brought up there was access. And of course, one of the pillars of Bell Let's Talk Day is, shining a light on that and making sure as a country we are improving access. So I'm wondering, what steps has the government taken in terms of shifting how Canadians can easily access stuff for mental health?
Well, first of all, as of last fall, we appointed Canada's first ever minister for mental health and addictions, and that is putting it forward and a focus on working with the provinces and with Canadians to try and create tools. We've also moved forward with a Wellness Together portal that has had millions of people visited over the course of this pandemic, and is providing resources for Canadians, as well as we just launched a few weeks ago the Pocket Well app, which is a handy way of accessing tools and resources to be able to get support on mental health. We know how important it is for people to reach out and for there to be places that they can reach out to, and that's what we're busy working on in partnership with provinces and territories.
Absolutely. And I think to get to that step, there takes a little bit of a level of empowerment. And how we get to empowerment is conversation. We've seen a lot of it in sports, athletes coming forward, Canadian athletes coming forward, talking openly about their mental health journeys. As you, as a prime minister, when it comes to seeing those types of conversations taking place in these spaces, what feelings come to mind?
Oh, just incredibly proud of the strength of our athletes in coming forward and sharing something that is getting less stigmatized, but is still difficult. I mean, we idealize and in some cases idolize our sports heroes for their strength, for their courage, for their speed, for their abilities. And for them to come forward and say, yeah, I'm not okay. That the pressure is getting to me. I'm being anxious. I'm struggling with some things. I need help is amazing. Modeling for the kids and for Canadians watching them and being inspired by them. It's just so important that people come forward to say, look, I need help. I'm not okay, and showing the strength that comes from reaching out to ask for help is something that I'm just so happy that our young people are seeing from our sports leaders and heroes.
I mean, I have to follow up then because I think a very important conversation simply is to ask, how are you doing? You are a public figure, but how is Justin Trudeau, the person, doing?
Yeah, it's been a tough couple of years. Huge challenges, huge responsibilities in my job, and dealing with the same things that so many people are dealing with: kids at home, not seeing friends, not getting out there. So yeah, there've been moments of difficulty. I mean, I went through a stretch where my mom was facing some health challenges, and I wasn't able to see her because she was in Montreal. And it was, we've all gone through difficult times, but um, I've been lucky, and so many of us have been lucky. We think of our frontline health workers. We think of the folks, seniors who've been isolated, who are more at risk, people really struggling. The way Canadians have pulled together to focus on and support the people who've most struggled on this is just been inspirational. It's been part of the story of how we've gotten through this pandemic. Canadians are getting through this pandemic. Canadians have been there for frontline workers, for their neighbors, for their loved ones in doing the right things. And increasingly, we see people being there for each other on mental health, on resilience, on supporting people through their difficult times mentally and not just physically. And that's inspiring to me, even as of course it's been tough for everyone.
Absolutely. I mean, I have a little one. You also have kids. And I think one way we naturally think to keep them kind of mentally focused, but also is to be active, right? To keep them in team sport, to help build that realm of community. But there is a mental health aspect in that. So, how can we, as parents, as Canadians, show up for our children through programming, whether it be training, with the government's help?
My eldest son Zav is in basketball, and the past couple of years have been really tough for him with not being able to go to practice, not being able to play. It's just starting to pick up again, and then it stopped. We need to keep supporting our kids and getting them in those opportunities to get out there and play and feel like they can have normal childhoods despite this challenging pandemic. And on the flip side, having conversations at home. I mean, we're having conversations around the dinner table around mental health, around how we're doing, around feelings that are, light years from what I had as a kid growing up. We need to keep empowering and giving tools to our kids to be on top of their mental wellness and to be comfortable sharing when things are tough. And that's something I think we're all learning as a community and as families.
Well, Mr. Prime Minister, once again, thank you so much for taking the time and thank you for encouraging us to continue to have these very important conversations.
No, it's a real pleasure to talk with you, and thanks for all the leadership TSN and you guys are doing on Bell Let's Talk, and quite frankly, not just today, but every day. Talking about mental health and resilience is important all the time, and this is an ongoing conversation for all of us.